leaf modifications. Of that first leaf modification, that is nothing but tendrils. So already I explained about the leaf modifications, that is nothing but insectivorous plant, and this is the second leaf modification, that is nothing but tendrils. In this tendrils, what are called as tendrils means these are long, wiry, coiled, sensitive structures, long, wiry, coiled, sensitive structures which coils like a watch spring, coils like a watch spring. So these are nothing but tendrils. These are long, wiry, coiled, sensitive structures which coils like a watch spring. Here in this tendrils, due to the sensitivity nature, if they touches any support, immediately it coils around the support and helps in climbing. So in this tendrils, what is the first example means, that is nothing but Pisum sativum. That is nothing but which one they taken as an example means that is nothing but Pisum sativum. This Pisum sativum, common name of Pisum sativum. What is the common name of Pisum sativum? That is nothing but it is nothing but garden pea. It is nothing but which plant means it is nothing but garden pea. And it belongs to which family means it belongs to the family namely known as Fabaceae family. It belongs to the family namely known as Fabaceae family. In this Pisum sativum, what happens means, and one more thing here, which scientists proposed hybridization experiments on this Pisum sativum means that is nothing but Gregor John Mendel. That is nothing but which scientist means Gregor John Mendel conducted hybridization experiments on which plant means on pea plant, that is nothing but which one means that is nothing but Pisum sativum, commonly known as a garden pea plant. And he proposed law of inheritance, the law of inheritance based upon that characteristic feature. This Gregor John Mendel was called as father of genetics. Based upon this experiment, this scientist, namely known as Gregor John Mendel, called it as father of genetics. And in this Pisum sativum plant, what happens means this is nothing but the rachis. That means on this rachis stipules are present. On this rachis, which one are present? Stipules are present. So one pea plant is equal to how many stipules means 2 stipules. One pea plant is equal to 2 stipules. One pea plant is equal to how many stipules means 2 stipules. Whether these stipules, whether they are enlarged structures, yes, they are enlarged structures. These stipules, they are nothing but enlarged structures. Whether they are flattened, yes, they are flattened structures. These are enlarged flattened structures. Whether they are present in green in color or whether they are present in non-green in color means they are present in green in color. They are present in which color? Green in color. Due to the presence of green in color, whether it performs a function namely known as photosynthesis, yes. So it performs a function namely known as photosynthesis. It performs a function namely known as photosynthesis. And on this rachi, what happens means leaflets are arranged. On this rachi, leaflets are arranged. Can you tell me which type of leaf this Pisum sativum belongs to means it shows a unipinnately compound leaf. It shows which type of compound leaf means unipinnately compound leaf. Why it is called as unipinnately compound leaf means, in this whether this rache, whether if it is branched, then it can be called it as a secondary rache or tertiary rache. But here the rachis is branched or unbranched means here the rachis is unbranched. Here the rachis is unbranched. On this unbranched rache, leaflets are arranged on either side. That means it is nothing but a unipinnately compound leaf. What is meant by unipinnately compound leaf? On primary rache, leaflets are arranged on either side, so it is called as a unipinnately compound leaf. And one more thing here, the terminal leaflets are modified into which structures means the terminal leaflets are modified into tendrils. The terminal rache, the terminal leaflets are modified into tendrils. So these are called as basal leaflets. These are called as basal leaflets, and whereas these are called as terminal leaflets. These are called as terminal leaflets which are modified into tendrils. Which are modified into which one here? Tendrils. That means one Pisum sativum plant is equal to many tendrils. One Pisum sativum plant is equal to which one here? Many tendrils. Now here, what these tendrils playing an important role? Whether these tendrils playing an important role in photosynthesis? No, it does not play an important role in photosynthesis. The terminal leaflets are modified into tendrils. These terminal leaflets, it helps in climbing by coiling around the support in order to receive sufficient amount of sunlight by stipules and by basal leaflets. One more thing here, what happens means, if this basal leaflets are, basal leaflets are only removed, if these basal leaflets are only removed, whether this plant will undergoes death? That is nothing but answer, no, it does not undergoes death. What is the reason means? Reason, that is nothing but photosynthetic function is performed by foliaceous stipules. Reason, photosynthetic function performed by foliaceous stipules. Photosynthetic function is performed by foliaceous stipules. That means if the basal leaflets are only removed, whether this plant will undergoes death? No. Why? Because the reason here, the photosynthetic function is performed by foliaceous stipules, and it can prepare their own food material, and they can supply their food material even in the absence of basal leaflets. Same answer here, same question here. If the stipules are only removed, what happens to this plant? Whether this plant will undergoes death or does not undergoes death means here the plant will does not undergoes death. That means no means the plant will undergoes no death if these foliaceous stipules are only removed. What is the reason means? Photosynthetic function is performed by basal leaflets. That means if the stipules are only removed, whether the plant will undergoes death? No. Why? Because the reason photosynthetic function is performed by basal leaflets. What I am saying now, see here. If basal leaflets and foliaceous stipules, if they are completely removed in Pisum sativum plant, whether the plant will undergoes death means yes, the plant will undergoes death. What is the reason means? They does not shows any photosynthetic structures. Why the when this Pisum sativum plant undergoes death means when these basal leaflets plus foliaceous stipules, if they are completely removed, then this plant will undergoes death. What is the reason means they does not shows any photosynthetic structures, either basal leaflets or either foliaceous stipules. And one more thing here, it based upon this diagram whether the leaflets, whether they are arranged in paripinnate arrangement of leaflets can be seen or imparipinnate arrangement of leaflets can be seen. Means it shows which type of arrangement means imparipinnate arrangement of leaflets. Imparipinnate arrangement of leaflets. Imparipinnate arrangement of which one? Leaflets. What is meant by imparipinnate arrangement of leaflets? That means the terminal part of the raceae, it is ended with how many tendril? Only one tendril. The terminal part of the raceae, it is ended with one tendril. That means it shows only one leaflet. No, it shows only one leaflet. That means if the terminal part of the raceae, if it is ended with single leaflet, then it is called as imparipinnate arrangement, whereas in this Pisum sativum, the terminal part of the raceae ended with single leaflet, which is modified into single tendril. So that's why it is called as imparipinnate arrangement of leaflets. Now see here, if imparipinnate arrangement of leaflets, if they are present, means whether the number of the leaflets, whether they are odd in number or even in number, means they are showing odd in number. They are showing which number? Which number they are showing? Odd in number. That means here 6 leaflets, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That means that number, whether it is odd number or even number, that is nothing but odd number. That is nothing but odd number. And one more thing here, what I am saying, this is nothing but a unipinnately compound leaf. Think this is the stem. Think this one is the stem. On the stem, this unipinnately compound leaf is present. Now, the angle between the upper angle between the unipinnately compound leaf and the node of the stem is called as which one here? Is called as axil. That means whether it shows axillary bud. Yes, it shows axillary bud. That means it shows axillary bud. But whereas the upper angle between the leaflet and the raceae, can we call that one as axil? No, it is not called as an axil, where it does not shows axillary bud in its axil. Where it does not shows axillary bud in that axil. So this is about the tendrils. This is about tendrils. I taken what is that example? Pisum sativum. Pisum sativum. And tell me another example for this. Can we call this one as leaf tendrils? Yes, it is called as leaf tendrils. Why? Because as we are studying about leaf modifications, that means in Pisum sativum, it shows always leaf tendrils. That means which leaflets are modified into tendrils, means whether basal leaflets are modified into tendrils. No, the basal leaflets, they are not modified into tendrils, but whereas the terminal leaflets are modified into tendrils. And what is the another example means for this leaf tendril? That is nothing but Lathyrus sativus. Another example for leaf tendril, that is nothing but Lathyrus sativus. What is the common name of Lathyrus sativus? Means it is nothing but sweet pea. Common name of Lathyrus sativus, it is nothing but sweet pea. And once again, which family it belongs to? The family, as this Pisum sativum belongs to Fabaceae, this Lathyrus sativus also belongs to Fabaceae. Also belongs to Fabaceae. Now here in this Lathyrus sativus, what happens means, see, these are nothing but foliaceous stipules. These are nothing but which stipules? Foliaceous stipules. These are nothing but foliaceous stipules. That means the foliaceous stipules, whether they are large means yes, they are large. Whether they are flattened structures, yes, they are flattened structures. Whether they are green in color, yes, they are green in color. Whether they can perform photosynthesis, yes, they can perform. Which function means photosynthesis. That means they can prepare their own food material. Yes, they can prepare their own food material. Example, that is nothing but Lathyrus sativus, sweet pea, commonly known as, belongs to the family, namely known as Fabaceae family. In this, one Lathyrus sativus plant is equal to, one Lathyrus sativus plant is equal to 2 foliaceous stipules. 2 foliaceous stipules. And here what happens means these foliaceous stipules, they are larger, flattened, green, and they are photosynthetic in function. That means they can prepare their own food materials. Now what happens means in this which one is modified into tendril means the complete leaf is modified into tendril. In this, which one is modified into tendril means complete leaf is modified into, complete leaf is modified into, which one means tendril. In this, complete leaf is modified into tendril, but when it is compared with Pisum sativum, the terminal leaflets are modified into tendrils in Pisum sativum, but whereas in Lathyrus sativus, only in this the complete leaf is modified into tendril. Complete leaf is modified into tendril. Now in this Lathyrus sativus, if foliaceous stipules are completely removed, foliaceous stipules are completely removed, foliaceous stipules are completely removed. Now tell me whether the plant will undergoes death or does not undergoes death means yes, the plant will undergoes death. What is the reason means they does not shows photosynthetic structures, photosynthetic apparatus. They does not shows photosynthetic apparatus, due to which the plant cannot synthesize their own food material. That plant is not supplied with food material, due to which that plant will undergoes death if foliaceous stipules are completely removed. But whereas in this Pisum sativum, only foliaceous stipules are removed, it can survive. Why? Because the photosynthetic function is performed by basal leaflets. But whereas in this Lathyrus sativus, foliaceous stipules are only the photosynthetic structures. If these photosynthetic structures, if they are completely removed, then the plant will undergoes death. Then the plant will undergoes death in Lathyrus sativus. Another example that is nothing but Gloriosa superba. Gloriosa superba. Another one that is nothing but Gloriosa superba. In this Gloriosa superba, which one is modified into tendril? Simple definition, see here. In this think this one is the leaf of the Gloriosa superba. Think this one is the leaf of the Gloriosa superba. This leaf contains a tendril. Which part is modified into tendrils? Whether the leaf base is modified into tendril? No. In this, which one is modified into tendril means leaf apex is modified into tendril. Leaf apex is modified into which one means tendril. So leaf apex is modified into tendril in Gloriosa superba. Yes, that is nothing but in this Gloriosa superba, leaf apex is modified into tendril. That means one leaf is equal to one tendril. Yes, one leaf is equal to one tendril. Whereas in Lathyrus sativus, one leaf is equal to one tendril. But whereas in Pisum sativum, one leaf is equal to many tendrils. One leaf is equal to many tendrils. And this is about the example that is nothing but Gloriosa superba. Another example that is nothing but And one more thing about this Gloriosa superba. Can you tell me which type of pollination occurs in Gloriosa superba? That is nothing but it shows which pollination means cross pollination. It shows which pollination means it shows cross pollination. It shows which pollination means it shows cross pollination. What is the contrivance in order to ensure cross pollination by stopping self pollination? What is the contrivance? What I am saying? What is the contrivance in order to favor, in order to promote cross pollination by stopping self pollination? That is nothing but which one means it is showing hercogamy. It is showing which type means hercogamy. It is one of the contrivance in order to promote cross pollination by stopping self pollination. Whereas in Gloriosa superba, what happens means Gloriosa superba, whether it shows bisexual flowers, yes, Gloriosa superba, it shows which type of flowers? Bisexual flowers. Whether they are arranged in same height, yes, they are arranged in which one means they are arranged in same height. They are arranged in which height? Same height. Whether both sex organs, both male reproductive organ, that is nothing but andrecium, and the female reproductive organ, that is nothing but gynoecium, whether they are maturing at a time, whether they are maturing at a same time means yes, both these sex organs, matures at a time, matures at a time. Both these sex organs, they are matures at a time. That means in this Gloriosa superba, it shows cross pollination. What is the contrivance in order to favor cross pollination by stopping self pollination? That is nothing but hercogamy. It shows bisexual flowers where both sex organs are arranged in same height. That means andrecium and gynoecium, whether they are matured at different intervals? No, they are maturing at a time, but it shows, it favors cross pollination by stopping self pollination. That means, see what it will do means, these are nothing but the petals. These are nothing but petals. These are nothing but petals of Gloriosa superba. Now what happens means, in this female sex organ, in this which one here? Female sex organ, it is present towards one end. It is present towards one end. And male sex organ and the male sex organs, they are present towards opposite end. And the male sex organs, they are present towards which end? Opposite ends. That means the female sex organ, that is gynoecium, and the male sex organ, that is nothing but andrecium, they are present in opposite ends. That means female sex organ is present towards one opposite end and the male sex organs are present towards another opposite end. At a time, if this both sex organs, if they are maturing at a time also, it does not favor self-pollination. It favors cross-pollination. It favors which pollination? Cross-pollination can be seen in Gloriosa superba by taking this diagram as an example belonging to Gloriosa flower. Now what happens means, another example is present in tendrils. What is that another example means? Smilax. Smilax, as it belongs to Liliaceae member. Smilax, as it belongs to which family means, that is nothing but family belongs to Liliaceae. That means Liliaceae, whether it belongs to monocotyledon, monocots, yes, Liliaceae belongs to monocots. That means all monocots, that means see here, assertion. All family members belongs to Liliaceae, shows parallel venation. Shows which venation? Parallel venation. Shows a parallel venation. What is the reason means smilax belonging to Liliaceae family shows reticulate venation. Shows which venation? Reticulate venation. That means all family members belonging to Liliaceae shows parallel venation. That means according to reason this assertion is wrong. No, that means it is one of the wrong one. That why? Because smilax belonging to Liliaceae belonging to monocots, but it does not show parallel venation. It shows reticulate venation. That means A is false, R is true. What is the option? A is false and R is true according to this smilax. In this smilax, what happens? Unisexual flowers are present. In this smilax, which flowers are present? Unisexual flowers are present. Now, in this smilax, what happens means, this is the diagram belonging to smilax. This is the leaf of smilax. This is the leaf of which one means smilax. Now, stipules are modified into which structures now? Stipules are modified into tendrils. Which one are modified into tendrils? Stipules are modified into tendrils in smilax. That means one leaf of smilax is equal to how many tendrils? Means is equal to 2 stipules, is equal to 2 stipules, is equal to 2 tendrils, is equal to 2 tendrils. This is belonging to smilax. That means we completed about leaf tendrils. What is the first example for leaf tendrils? Means Pisum sativum. Second one Lathyrus sativus. Third one Gloriosa superba. And the fourth one Smilax zeylanica. Fourth one, that is nothing but Smilax zeylanica. So we completed about this tendrils. So next goes to spines. Spines, these are, that means which one are reduced? Means leaves are reduced. Leaves are reduced into one sharp, 2 pointed structures. Sharp pointed structures which plays an important role in protection. Which plays an important role in which one means protection. What is the utmost important function of the leaf? Means leaf can perform photosynthesis. Leaf can perform photosynthesis. But whereas in xerophytic plants, examples such as Opuntia, in Opuntia what happens means leaves are modified into spines. In Opuntia what happens? Leaves are modified into leaves are modified into spines. In Opuntia leaves are modified into spines means why they are modified into spines means as Opuntia, as it belongs to one of the xerophytic member, there the water availability is less. In order to reduce the rate of transpiration, here the leaves are reduced into spines. Leaves are reduced into spines. What is the primary function? Means in order to reduce the rate of transpiration, in order to reduce the rate of transpiration, in Opuntia, leaves are modified into spines. Leaves are modified into spines as they are sharp pointed structures due to which it plays an important role in protection, due to which it plays an important role in protection. That means in Opentia, leaves are modified into spines. But what is the photosynthetic structure which plays an important role in photosynthesis? That means main stem, and its branches, main stem and its branches are modified into green flattened leaf-like structure, and plays an important role in which function? Means photosynthesis function. Plays an important role in photosynthesis function. Why? Because in Opentia, leaves are reduced to spines. In order to reduce the rate of transpiration, what is the secondary function? Means as they are sharp pointed structures which plays an important role in protection. And this Opentia, how it can prepare their food materials? Means the main stem and its branches are modified into green flattened leaf-like structure and plays an important role in photosynthesis. Means whether this main stem and its branches performs the function of the leaf. Yes, it performs the actual function of the leaf. So can we call in this Opentia, can we see a aerial stem modification that is nothing but a phylloclade? Yes, aerial stem modification that is nothing but a phylloclade can be seen. And one more thing, this Opentia, whether it is one of the succulent stem xerophyte. Yes, Opentia, it is one of the succulent stem xerophyte. That means in this Opentia, main stem and its branches not only perform photosynthesis, and it also stores water in the form of mucilage. So that's why it is called as a succulent stem xerophyte. In this succulent stem xerophyte, that is nothing but Opentia, whether they are facing drought conditions externally. Opentia, they are facing drought conditions. Externally. Whether it is right or wrong means yes. The Opentia, it faces drought conditions externally. Whether this Opentia facing drought conditions internally? No, it does not facing drought conditions internally. What is the reason? Means as this main stem and its branches, they store water in the form of mucilage, so it cannot faces drought conditions internally. So they does not face drought conditions internally in this Opentia. That means here the spines, leaves are modified into spines in Opentia. Next example, second example, that is nothing but yucca. Second example, that is nothing but yucca. In yucca, it is one of the Liliaceae member. Yucca, it is one of the Liliaceae member. That means whether it is one of the monocot? Yes, it is one of the monocot also. In this yucca, what happens? Means the apex of the leaf is modified into spine. Apex of the leaf is modified into spine in yucca. In yucca, it is one of the Liliaceae member, where it is one of the monocot, and whereas the leaf apex of the yucca is modified into spine in order to place an important role in protection. So this is about the spines we completed. So next leaf modification, that is nothing but scaly leaves. Scaly leaves. In this scaly leaves, what is the first example? That is nothing but euphorbia. And what is the second example means? Asparagus. And the third example, that is nothing but ruscus. Third example, that is nothing but ruscus. In euphorbia, asparagus and ruscus. In euphorbia, leaves are reduced to scaly leaves. Leaves are reduced to scaly leaves. Whereas in asparagus, leaves, it shows how many modifications means 2 modifications. Leaf shows how many modifications means 2 modifications. Leaf on main stem. Leaf on main stem reduced to, leaf on main stem reduced to spine. Next, leaf on branches reduced to scaly leaf. So in asparagus, leaf shows 2 modifications. Leaf on main stem is reduced to spine. Leaf on branches reduced to scaly leaf. And whereas in ruscus, leaf is reduced to scaly leaf. Leaves are reduced to scaly leaf. These are the 3 examples belonging to these 3 examples. One, it is euphorbia. We already studied about this euphorbia under aerial stem modifications. Under which stem modifications means aerial stem modifications. Where we studied this euphorbia in aerial stem modifications means that is nothing but a phylloclade. Which type of phylloclade can be seen in euphorbia in aerial stem modification means cylindrical shaped phylloclade. Which type of phylloclade means cylindrical shaped phylloclade can be seen. Cylindrical shaped phylloclade can be seen. In euphorbia, what happens to the leaves means leaves are reduced to scaly leaves. In order to reduce the rate of transpiration in euphorbia, leaves are reduced to scaly leaves. And in this euphorbia, whether it is good example for succulent stem xerophyte. Succulent stem xerophyte. Whether it is one of the good example for succulent stem xerophyte? Yes, it is one of the good example for succulent stem xerophyte. That means whether these succulent xerophytes, whether they are facing drought conditions externally, yes, they are facing drought conditions externally. But whether they are facing drought conditions internally, no. Why? Because they are storing water in the form of mucilage in the system. And what is the another one means asparagus. Asparagus leaf shows how many modifications? 2 modifications. One, it is a leaf on main stem is reduced to spine. Leaf on branches is reduced to scaly leaf. And where we studied this asparagus as one of the good example means it is one of the good example for cladophyll. It is one of the good example for which one means cladophyll. Cladophyll, it is a variation of phylloclade. Cladophyll, it is a variation of phylloclade. In this asparagus, how many types of modifications we studied up to now? In this asparagus, in this which one means in asparagus, 3 modifications can be studied. How many modifications can be studied means 3 modifications can be studied. Of that one, it is leaf modification. Of that one, it is leaf modification. That means leaf shows, whether it shows 2 modifications means yes, it shows 2 modifications. One, it is a leaf on main stem reduced to, leaf on main stem reduced to spine. And another one, leaf on branches reduced to scaly leaf. Now, this is the leaf modification. And second one, it is nothing but a stem modification. Second one, it is nothing but which modification means stem modification. in this stem modification, in asparagus, it shows aerial stem modification, that is nothing but one internodal cladophil, it is shown by, that is nothing but asparagus. And what is the root modification means? Root modification in asparagus. Root modification, that is nothing but a cluster or fasciculated tuberous, fibrous roots can be seen in asparagus. That means in asparagus it shows three modifications. What is the first modification? Leaf modification. Leaf on main stem reduced to spine, leaf on branches reduced to scaly leaf. And stem modification, it shows aerial stem modification, that is nothing but one internodal cladophil it shows. And third one, that is nothing but root modification. In this root modification, a cluster or fasciculated tuberous fibrous roots can be seen. And what happens in this asparagus means, in asparagus, in order to reduce the rate of transpiration, as it belongs to one of the xerophyte, so here the leaves are reduced to spine and as well as scaly leaf. And what is the another example means? Ruscus. In ruscus, leaves are reduced to scaly leaf. In order to reduce the rate of transpiration. And what happens means, another example, that is nothing but onion. That is nothing but Allium cepa. Onion, that is nothing but Allium cepa. And asparagus and ruscus, they are also belonging to Liliaceae members only. And whereas onion belongs to Liliaceae member, and whereas Allium sativum belongs to Allium sativum, that is nothing but a garlic. It is also belonging to Liliaceae member. And sixth one, that is nothing but Scilla indica. It is also belonging to Liliaceae members. That means asparagus, ruscus, onion, Allium sativum and Scilla indica. And what happens in these three members means, scaly leaf bases. What I am saying here? Scaly leaf bases. They stores scaly leaf bases, they stores food materials. They stores food materials and they become fleshy. They stores this onion and as well as Allium sativum and as well as Scilla indica in this underground stem modification, that is nothing but bulb. In this bulb, scaly leaf bases, they store food materials and they become fleshy. In these three plants, onion, Allium sativum and Scilla indica. And whereas in underground stem modifications, that is nothing but rhizome. Underground stem modifications, that is nothing but rhizome and corn. In rhizome and corn, the leaves are reduced to brown colored scaly leaf. Leaves are reduced to brown colored scaly leaf. What is the function of the brown colored scaly leaf? Whether it is a photosynthetic in function or non-photosynthetic in function means it does not perform photosynthesis. Why? Because it plays an important role in protection of axillary bud and terminal bud. It plays an important role in Protection of axillary bud and terminal bud. This is about scaly leaves. This is about scaly leaves we completed.